And here we go. Day one of the Washington Commanders training camp practice is officially in the books. And guys, we have a lot to talk about in this video. First impressions of not only Jayden Daniels, but we got some big news on another big time rookie getting to practice for the first time with the team. We're going to break it all down in this video. Now, before we jump into the news, notes, highlights, observations, and takeaways from day one, I do want to start this video off by giving a major shout out to all of the media members over there in Washington who work so hard each and every single day to get these highlights out for us, but also get the news out for us. Without them, the video is not possible to make. So do me a favor, guys, and go follow them on Twitter right now. They're going to keep you guys updated in live time, so you guys don't have to wait for me to post the video to know what's going on in practice. So go follow them really quickly. It'll be a big help to them and also me as well. But with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video a little bit and talk about, day one of practice. Now, as we all know, there's a rookie quarterback here in Washington, and let me just put it this way. He looked insanely good on day one of practice. I mean, guys, we're going to go through some of the stats of day one, but before we do that, let's talk about Cornelius Lucas. He was actually starting as the left tackle for the team, something we kind of expected. However, I wanted to see what was going to happen with Brandon Coleman. Were they going to give him some early looks? But I like starting Lucas at the left tackle position. Forces Coleman to really develop and really compete in practice, so definitely excited about that. We have a lot of newcomers, especially on the offensive line with Nick Allegretti and Tyler B, right? You got Sam Cosmi, you got Andrew Wiley, so definitely excited to see how this offensive line plays out. But for day one, Cornelius Lucas was your starting left tackle. Now, early on in practice, the first quarterback was Marcus Mariota, which I wouldn't say concerned me, but I was like, this is interesting. I thought they would, full guns ahead, right, with Jayden Daniels, but Marcus Mariota was the first guy to throw the football to the wide receivers, which again, it changed very quickly once we got to 7-on-7 drills. But before we get to 7-on-7s, Mariota had a really nice pass to Luke McCaffrey, and then boom. I mean, Luke McCaffrey is a guy who, once you get the football in his hands, dude, he is a threat on every single play. The dude caught the ball, made a nice little move, getting down the sideline to the end zone, for what would have been a touchdown, right? But let's get into a little bit more of 7-on-7s with a little bit of defense here. Jayden Daniels in 7-on-7s, guys, was 3 of 4, right? And then had a run as well. And he had a touchdown to Zach Ertz. We said a lot coming into the season that we thought Zach Ertz was going to be somewhat of a safety net for Jayden Daniels, and it is already starting to play out that way, where, when he goes through his progressions, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Luke McCaffrey aren't open. Okay, boom, let's go hit my tight end and watch him work, right? So Zach Ertz has been huge, not only, physically on the football field, but as a mentor on and off the field, helping guys out in the locker room like Ben Sinnott and John Bates, right? So Zach Ertz has been massive for not only Jayden Daniels, but also some other young tight ends as well. But yes, like I said, Jayden Daniels was the starter in 7-on-7s. So although Marcus Mariota got the initial run with the wide receivers, Daniels was ultimately the starter during 7-on-7s. There was another touchdown for the offense. Kashmir Allen made a unbelievable, outstretched diving grab from Daniels, and then one play later to John Bates for another touchdown. And again, I'm telling you guys right now, Jayden Daniels looked like everything you'd want and more, right? I can only imagine that, Cliff Kingsbury was just so excited about day one, and then boom, had another insane throw by Jayden Daniels in the back of the end zone to Brian Robinson. Now, before we get any further into the video, guys, make sure you do me a big favor, hit the like button, not only so we can get the video out to more Commanders fans around the world, but also subscribe to the channel. It is free, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering the Commanders throughout the rest of training camp, preseason, regular season, everything you could think of, we've got you guys covered. Trust me, more Commanders videos coming soon. Don't you guys worry. But with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video. And like I was just talking about, that throw to Brian Robinson to the corner of the end zone. It was a really good route by Brian Robinson. You could tell he's kind of, really positioned himself to be more utilized in the passing game. I think he's worked on that footwork. So, obviously they have Austin Eckler here, but I think with Brian Robinson be able to run some routes out the backfield, it adds a sense of unpredictability, right? Coming into the season, I thought, when Brian Robinson's in the game, they're probably going to be running the ball, right? When Austin Eckler's in the game, they're probably going to be passing the ball. But I feel like they both do a really good job at complementing each other and doing, the other thing well. For example, Brian Robinson now catching the football, running routes. Austin Eckler being able to be a really good pass catcher, but also being able to run the football as well. Again, adding unpredictability to your offense is always something you want. And then we had another touchdown from Daniels to Kaz Allen. So Kaz Allen is definitely a guy who stood out to me today. Obviously, Kazmir Allen has a lot of work to do to jump guys like Jamison Crowder, Damiere Byrd, and even, Zacchaeus, Dynamic Brown. So, but day one was really good for Kazmir Allen. So, just finished the team drill 4-4 with one handoff for Jayden Daniels. He did have one PBU, so I guess 4 for 5 if you want to be technical with it. So, listen, if we're being honest here, day one was, kind of just a walkthrough, wasn't anything crazy. But I'll tell you what, if that is, a sign of what's to come with Jayden Daniels, the Commanders are in really, really good shape here. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Also, let me know 1 or 2 players you think that could potentially break out for them this season, whether it's a rookie, a second-year player, a veteran, someone who just traded to the team. Whoever you think could break out, let me know in the comments down below. There's a lot of guys on my list, but I do ultimately think that Jahan Dotson will kind of take that step forward this year after not having a great year last year. I think this could be his year to really stand out for them offensively. And then, I forgot to even mention, Jer'Zhan Newton off the NFI list. He is ready to go. He is practicing with the team in full. I mean, this was amazing to see. I didn't even expect him to be practicing, the entire first couple of weeks. But he's out here on day one, getting it going. You love to see that work ethic. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog sneezing. But, yeah, shout out to Jer'Zhan Newton, man. He is working behind Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. But, man, those are 2 guys you want to learn from. And he's going to have a long road ahead. But, man, to already be practicing is huge news for the Commanders. I'm also very excited for Frankie Louvu and as well Jeremy Chin. Reason being is Jeremy Chin is massively underrated. First 2 years, he was nasty. Panthers tried to move him to a slot corner. Wasn't his true position, but now gets moved back to safety with the guy like Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. Dude, I am pumped up for the Washington Commanders. I think this is going to be a massive season for them. Let me know what you guys think. We should get more news and notes as the pads come on. But, yeah.